No! We would have wasted our time. Ha!
Long wait time.
Guys. So apparently we started recording. I thought I had pressed record about 3 minutes ago, not knowing we weren't recording. We were talking for like 3 minutes. We were just going with the flow. So I was saying that I met him in front of the cafeteria and he told me how the essays over here were
so jam-packed.
Very. The essays here are very tough. So basically, he's going to be sharing his experience. I mentioned earlier that he's from Sierra Leone, West Africa, and me also being from West Africa, Ghana. I'm like, we are the only West Africans here. Let's just share our experience with you guys. So he would share his experience here. He's been here for 2 weeks, and then how the culture has shocked him, some of the things he's getting adjusted to, and then we'll carry it on from there. So first of all, you just show us the month you came here, the day you came here, and then your flight from Sierra Leone to like West Virginia, how it was and everything.
Like for my flight back in Sierra Leone to be here in America, like it's like a very terrible story, as I can say, because my flight should be in the New York at JFK airport on the 31st of December, but there was an issue with that. We stuck at Senegal for like 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did they give you guys a hotel to lodge or?
No, there was no hotel.
Left you at the airport.
Yeah, they just left us like that. Like people can do it on your own way.
Nah, this is crazy.
Yeah, that was a big experience for me. How can I do such a thing in a different country like that? I used to see people in my country moving along. I was just standing at the airport, like, what am I doing here? So we decided to call one of the agents who is in charge of the Air Senegal flights.
Yeah. Which airline was that, or you can't mention?
Air Senegal.
Air Senegal.
Yeah, that's Air Senegal.
Wow.
Yeah. They told me that we don't have any way to cope it up unless you have to stay after the New Year.
Wow.
So I have to hold on. Like, it was very strange to spend a whole New Year in a place where you're going to be. Yeah, I was thinking I should be at the US.
Where we were in New York during the New Year's.
You know, I was thinking all that way up, but it doesn't happen like that. So we have to hold back like 4 days until the fifth day, and we got our flight back from Air Senegal to the JFK International Airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one. But then how was the feeling like the nights before you leaving Sierra Leone to America, the nights before you knew that this was the last evening for you in Senegal, in Sierra Leone, I'm coming to America the next day. How did you feel? Because for me, I didn't really feel that different. I just was like, okay, I'm going to America tomorrow, my last evening here. So the funny thing is, everything that I did, I'll be like, this is the last time I'm bathing in Ghana. This is the last time I'm doing this in Ghana. This is the last evening I'm sleeping in Ghana and all that. So how was yours like? How did you feel the night?
Mine was scary because I can't sleep. Sure.
You can't.
Yeah,
the day you get a visa, I remember when I had my visa, I took a picture of it on my phone, placed it at the hidden gallery, and every day I was looking at it. When I wake up in the morning, I look at my visa every morning.
Make sure it was there.
Yes, I was. No, my dad, I gave the passport to my dad, so I had a picture of the visa stamp. So every day, even today, this morning, I looked at my visa again. To be honest, this morning, because I feel like this is something you've worked for so long.
Yeah, indeed, like a year.
For a long time. So how was yours like the previous nights? You couldn't sleep?
I couldn't sleep. I was thinking, whoa, maybe someone would just knock me off of the bed. I don't know how to say, but it was just a weird moment for me. It's like that, yeah. The feeling was there.
You were scared that something will happen?
Yes, something will happen. In fact, my passport, I put it under my bed. So,
and you slept on it?
Yeah, I slept on it. Sure. That would be a short thing. So, if a thief would break in,
yes,
you won't take
that would be the
documents.
last thing. I'm telling you, that is your life ticket and all that. Yeah. So for me, the last few days before leaving Ghana, I wasn't really scared of something happening to me. So the night before, I actually went out to a long. Someone sent me on an errand the day before traveling. Okay, so I left on a Monday. So the Sunday I went to church, came back home.
Yeah.
But the Saturday I was running errands, not with regards to the US. So one guy was sending me to do something for him. So my parents were the ones who were scared. You know, African parents.
Yeah, they always think about the black magic.
You know, you're about to do travel and you are going here. What if this happens? They are always scared about it. But I wasn't really scared because I had not told anyone around me. So I didn't think anything was going to happen. But the night before that, I went to see my friend Kelvin, and I was like, I didn't tell him. I was just vibing with him because I knew that was the last day we're meeting. And then I even told him that we were going out on Wednesday. And the next Monday, I'm in New York. They were like, is this editing, or they didn't believe that we were with you yesterday evening and in 24 hours? Come on. It was scary. So let's talk about the visa process. How many schools did you apply to in all?
For me to come to the US, I applied like 3 schools.
And you did everything for yourself?
Yeah, I did from scratch.
Good.
Everything,
So people normally feel like an agent needs to help you to apply to the school. You need this and that. I applied to over 200 schools in the US.
That's
most
a
of you
misconception.
Most of you know the story. I applied to over 200 plus universities. I know almost all the schools in the US off head. So you applied to 3 schools. Can you mention the schools?
Yeah, like the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
Arizona State University.
Yeah, Arizona State.
And University of Charleston, where I'm at right now.
Okay. Why University of Charleston? What came in mind?
University of Charleston, I think they win me over like
their email response. Yes, shout out to Violetta.
It's like 100% sure. Yeah,
quick.
so accurate.
Yes, that was what also won me. Violetta was very quick with her response. I had my I-20 in 30 minutes. The day I called, I'm like, yo, I have an admission. I have an appointment in some few days. Can you please get me an I-20 today? She was like, get me your bank statement and fill this document. I filled everything on my phone. I was in my friend's house.
Oh, really?
On my phone. I didn't have to even print it. I typed everything, emailed it back to her, and in 30 minutes, didn't even. And she sent me the I-20. I'm like,
whoa.
30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, she got me the I-20, and then a week before that, she was very fast. She was responding. I'll call her. She'll pick. She knows it till date. Anytime I go and see, she was like, you were calling me too much. And
me too.
I remember, I used to call her personally because I felt the emails were, I couldn't express myself. And I remember a week before my interview, the last Thursday, my interview was on a Thursday. So the last Thursday before the interview, I sent her an email. That day I was scared. I had so many doubts that this is the third time I'm going for the interview, and it's like all the odds were against me. So I was very, very sad because it's like in 1 week from now, my future is about to be determined.
That will be denied again.
Yes, like not even denied, but it's like my whole life depended on it. That I've not gone to school for 3.5 years. I've been home for 3.5 years and then been refused visa for 4 times. And then this is the next time I'm going. Like, am I going to wait for another rejection for another year? I was so
That's an interesting story. Yeah.
Yes, so I emailed Violetta and I told her that this is how I feel. And she was like, today is our Thanksgiving day. I'll put you in prayers. She'll pray for me. And it's like I had that relief in me.
The moment
the moment she said that she'll pray for me, I just had that relief in me that this is it.
Work.
Yes. And that evening I had a dream that I was in America.
Whoa.
That was the most realistic dream I ever had. I wrote it in my diary.
So you came without coming?
That was the realistic dream ever, where I dreamt I was in New York with my visa, and the dream was so real. I know most of you have had that dream before, where the dream is so real that it's like when someone wakes you up, you'll be like, come on, why did you wake me up? So that was the confirmation. And if I thought that I was scared of the interview, I'm like, I wasn't scared at all, because it's like God has given the confirmation. The following day, my friend in Ohio, Ajololo Richard, he called me. He's like, yo, I had a dream about you that we were both in the US, and I was telling you about marriage and stuff, and you were like, I shouldn't. We came to the US, he's in Ohio right now, and then we spoke about this same issue, and I'm like, yo, do you remember the dream you had? So yeah, that is a bit backstory about it. So the reason why I chose my school is that they made me feel like they needed me. Where some schools were responding in 2 days,
2 days, 3 days, 2 emails. Mine got our response on WhatsApp.
She was very quick, very, very quick. And Charleston, I mentioned how I wanted to go to a bigger state, New York vibes back. And funny thing, I used to check the distance between West Virginia and New York because I've always wanted to go to New York.
Yeah,
and I've been to New York 5 times already. Since I came, I've been to New York 5 times already. So I used to check from West Virginia to New York by flight, checking all the places that I had wanted to visit, Georgia, all these places. Yes. Yeah. So when did you start applying? Because I understand that once you graduated and you started applying, or it took you some time.
Yeah, when I graduated from high school. Everyone will say, oh, now you can go to college in Sierra Leone. This is a good grade. Everyone will say that. I say, oh yeah, I need to go to college. But my uncle just hold on and said, no, with this kind of grades, you need to be to the US.
US, yes.
Yeah, and I slept on it, and I think that's good for me. Yeah.
So it's not something that you had always wanted for a long time. For me, for about 12 years, since 2012, I've never dreamt of any mission or any dream. It's always been America.
To come to America.
If I tell you that I used to sleep outside and watch planes fly, and be telling myself that I'll one day sit in the plane. Yes, I used to sleep outside. I remember, I'll sleep outside in the stars. I'll be watching the stars. And while the plane is flying, and what really attracted me was when there was those lights blinking on an airplane in the evening. I would get some chills from me. I'll be like, one day. I told everyone around me, my friends, everyone, that I'll go to America one day. When I see someone traveling or when the person goes to America, I'll be asking them questions. I'll be looking at their eyeballs. This eye has been to America, and today we are here. This morning, it just dawned on me that am I in America? I know you still have that feeling.
Yeah, the very first day when I came in, like,
you won't believe that you are here.
Yeah, I won't believe. I tried to shift off the window to watch.
You don't believe it. Yes, you don't believe that you are here
in America.
You feel it's a dream. And
it was a different feeling.
What really makes me sad was when I kept on having dreams about Ghana. Let's say I'll get a dream and it's something that happened in Ghana. I'm like, nah, my dream has to update. Yeah. But now I keep getting dreams of like US.
You get a new version of how the US stuff.
The dream has to update and all that. Yeah. So how has life been? Have you experienced any cultural shock? Because so many cultural shocks. Have you experienced some cultural shocks? Things that you were like, hey, like, is this America? Like that vibe, you understand? Have you experienced them yet?
Not much, but I got a shock like freezing. It's my first time.
Oh,
yeah, it's so very cold.
Very cold. The temperature is okay.
My palms, look at them, so white.
It's about to rain, but then I think the weather has been okay this week. It's about to rain, so it's 5 degrees right now. Celsius.
Presently,
yesterday it was negative 15 degrees Celsius. When you go, George had a water bottle in his car. When we went back, it was frozen. It was ice. It's cold. I made a video about the snow. The snow is going to be, I think, the most recent video. It's about snow.
It's coming up. Yeah,
it's already. They already posted it, so you can just go and check it. It was very cold. It is. Don't joke with the weather over here. When they tell you that it's cold, you can die.
Make sure you prepare well before.
Prepare well. I get cold very easily, but it's not even about you getting cold easily. It's like the moment you enter the cold, you just start getting cold. I mean, it's very cold.
Yeah, from at the international airport at JFK, you will be sensing something that there is a new
new weather.
Yes,
I came in the summer, so when I came out of JFK, the heat met me. So it's like I came at the perfect time.
Yeah,
even that time, I was always shaking in the car when there's an AC because I get cold very easily. People say it's anemia, but I don't want to accept it. So so that was the cold was your first culture shock, and the second culture shock was.
Like I say, I don't prepare well while coming because of I need to get some things which are for winter, not for summer. So
that was the mistake.
Yeah, that's a mistake for me. Yes. And you too, I don't want you to get into that.
Don't prepare well. You need to prepare. Know the time
you're coming. Yeah.
I don't blame them because most of them it's their first time traveling, so they don't really know how to prepare. You check the weather of the place you are going to. Even in the plane, you will get cold because it's in the sky.
It's in the sky.
Don't joke with the cold. You can get sick. And you wouldn't want to get sick. And when you are come with first aid kits with drugs. I bought drugs from Ghana, vitamin C, cold, head painkiller, and all those things. And they are the ones saving me because the drugs here are no good.
Way too much.
The drugs are no good. So the funny thing is that the first day I heard of him, I think one guy came to our room. He was like, "Yo, there's someone from Sierra Leone," and I'm like, and I don't know of him. And he was like, "Yeah, we saw him around." But I didn't really know because I'm still not used to the faces over here. So when the calf with George, Ali, and I think Mallory, I was
Mallory.
And we're sitting there, we saw him with his phone and his AirPods, and I was telling George,
I love my AirPods too much.
I was like, this was the exact me when I came here. Very awkward, sitting in the calf, when you're eating because you don't have anyone to talk to. You are eating, you are watching your phone. So I'm like, George, let's go and talk to him. I think it was a Tuesday. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday because I remember having to leave them to go to class. My class was 6:30 p.m. So I'm like, yo, go and talk to him. I'm going to class. And they didn't talk to you. So I was there and I just had an email from him that, yo, I'm the guy. And I'm like, oh, Violetta probably told me about you and all them. Yeah. So another interesting thing is the classes over here. Comparing it to your classes back home, what is the difference? Like the studies over here, do you have longer classes here or shorter classes here compared to Sierra Leone?
Here is a shorter class because here people value time way too much.
Good.
Yeah,
they don't joke with time.
In back home, like a lecturer will say, like, we have to wait, let me finish.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't. You see, a student gets on their bags and leave.
Yes.
They don't wait on you.
Yes.
You have to find another time.
I just came back from class and the class was 3 hours. Hot one. They have a 10 minutes break in between, and that is the longest class ever. The moment is 4 minutes to the class over. They will start summarizing. Yeah. And the funny thing is, before class starts, if let's say class starts at 6 o'clock and it's 5:59, the lecture will just be by there. standing waiting. The moment it's 6 o'clock, okay, attendance. It's like they are programmed, and that is one thing I love over here.
The attendance,
they love time. They respect their time. Where back home, I remember back in high school, we had this particular teacher. He would not let you go for lunch until he's done.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "I'll be done. Last topic. This." And the class 2 is, you can't stress the brain for 2 hours teaching maths for 2 hours. The brain will get tired, but then they don't care. Once they are done, but over here class 50 minutes we are done, and that is why I don't even sleep. If I don't get enough sleep, I don't really stress because I know I'll get the time back. Let's say tomorrow is Wednesday, my first class is 10 o'clock a.m. If I sleep at 4 a.m. today or 6 a.m. today and I get sleep deprived, let's say I wake up at 9:30, I can go to the class because knowing that in 30 minutes
in 30 minutes you'll be back at your door.
Yeah, no one cares about how you dress. You wear your pajamas to class. People come to class with pajamas.
Your pajamas.
But no one cares. Just come and sit down and learn and go back to your room.
The education is
the education is the most important thing. So they don't really stress you with, and it's very difficult to feel. Like, I've forgotten to tell you, but it's very difficult to get an F over here.
I was asking everywhere. Like,
you won't get an F. There's no way you get an F.
What way can I have an A?
You can't get an F. The way the system is, you can't get an F. The lowest you could get is a D, because the D, even if you get a D, it means they cancelled 2 of your classes. But you will never get an F. Never ever think you get an F. By God's grace, you will not get an F. The system has been programmed that your passing grade is a C. So no matter what you get the least you can get a C.
Yeah, you will have a C.
Yeah, so that is the good news over here. It's not like our people back home that first
20.
Oh, they'll give you midterm tests, 30%, 30 marks, 40 marks, and then exams will be 70. Over here, exams can be 10%.
That's a big experience, big difference in education.
Class participation to matters. Class attendance is key. You have to go to class all the time and stuff.
Yeah, that's most paramount.
And also, I know you have a problem with this, but do you have a problem with like hearing the professor speak and like their accent?
Yeah, like I struggle sometimes. Like even I meet some professors who are
I don't have a problem with this. They have a problem with the way I speak. I speak fast too, so they have a problem with the way I speak. Yeah. And you shouldn't let it affect your confidence. You should know that the fact that you are from Africa makes you stand out. Don't see it to be the wrong way. So let's say you see yourself to be Africa. To them, they might think, oh, he's from Africa, so yeah. But then to you, you should see that you are from Africa. You are from a continent that has gold, that has cocoa, the richest continent in the world. And Africa. You are here. So
shout
it's
out
like,
to Africa.
Yes, we are giving them money. We pay so much. We pay fees more than.
We pay a lot, like 45,000.
Yes, more than people over here. So you should have that mindset. So that is it. One of the questions that I get a lot is how people pay their fees. And I made a video one time about how almost impossible it is for you to come here, work and pay the fees. And people were like, oh, you are being backlash.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. It's not like you can't do it, but it will take you so much effort, so much sacrifices. Like let me make it more practical.
You will fail.
You see, you are here for academics.
Yeah.
The moment you swap your academics with work, one has to go down. Either your academics is up or your work is up. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Let me give you a realistic day in my life.
That's real.
So a very realistic day. Every day I have an assignment. Every day I have a quiz to submit.
Not one, like 4.
Yes.
Not even one.
I have 6 classes. Classes. And they all have deadlines in, let's say, a span of 3, 4, 5 days. You have classes. Let's say you are in a school sports team, which most of you might want to
join.
Let's say you are not part of the sports team. You have 3 classes every day. The classes are in the morning, let's say 10 a.m. Some of them is 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And you live on campus. Most of the jobs are in town. You need to Uber. How would you guess?
Yeah, Uber. And
you can't even work. You can't even work for 30 hours every week, even if you give all your free time. Because when you go to work, you use that money as Uber and come back. You'll be tired. You can't beat the system.
You can't.
So when people are coming here or when people are going for visa interviews with $30,000, how many people in America are making $30,000 every year? It's $30,000 to pay fees. It's way too much. So the advice I give people is the most important thing is to get here. If let's say for some reason you got your visa approved and your fees is $30,000, $40,000, don't try it. Go and find a community college or find a school with a lower fees. One guy texted me last week that he's in America. He was in Tennessee and his fees is $28,000. And I'm like, don't kill yourself. Go to a community college. Community college is like diploma course. Yes, you pay like $3,000 a semester. He's paying $3,000 a year or a semester. Save up and then continue after 2 years, because it's the same thing. After 2 years, you continue and you come here. Yeah. So another question is, when your first day in class, I made a first day in an American school video on TikTok. When your first day in class, what was like immediate action. How did you feel in the class? Did you feel uncomfortable? Did you feel happy that I'm in an American class? Like, how did you feel?
I feel comfortable because I met a lot of black people, but they are not from Africa.
Black Americans.
Yes, they are from different states like Texas, Ohio. They come to gain education.
Yeah, they came here for sport.
So they just think I'm too from that kind of state. But I told them that I'm from Africa. Yeah.
Okay. And so far, people, I know this topic is a bit sensitive, but people normally ask me, is there racism in America? Funny story, when I was coming to America, when I had a visa and everything, I think 2 weeks before me coming here, I googled the most racist states in America, and West Virginia was number 1. And I was so scared, so I emailed Violetta, my admissions officer, and I was like,
director of,
and I'm like, hey Violetta, I just found out that West Virginia is the most racist state for 3 consecutive years. Please, should I be scared? I was scared. And she sent me back, oh, come on. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. Because if it is very racist, they wouldn't have people from over 50 countries coming to study here.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this to brag, but West Virginia is probably the nicest state I've ever been to.
Watch videos. You don't need to ask. Just like, watch videos. Of
West Virginians are very nice people. You meet people. I was asking George that, is it by force for people to greet you? Because you'll be walking and everyone will smile at you. The old men, everyone is nice to you.
Professors.
Yeah. Even when we picked an Uber the other day, see the way the woman engaged us.
Engaging us. Asking, where are you from?
West Virginians are nice. New York, I will not say New York is racist, but New Yorkers are very... You understand? New York is like, you understand? I've been to New York so many times. I know the lifestyle over there, so it's like they are very, they are mean and all that. But West Virginia is very nice. The people here,
people are cool here.
I'm like, so you shouldn't really believe what they put on the internet. Yeah. I don't believe in racism because I'm like, what is the angle? What is the point? When I'm here, I'm minding my business. And if someone says you don't like me because of where I came from, what should I do to you? I can't do anything to you. The most important thing is you are coming here for school, come here, graduate, and then continue with your life. Don't let basic things affect you.
Yeah.
I made a video on TikTok talking about 7 skills everyone needs to learn, and the skills weren't learning how to do this, learning how to cut hair, learning how to braid. Those are generic stuff. The first skill I was talking about is mental toughness. You need
Don't take it personal.
You need mental toughness. I'm telling you, there are times that you break down. Look at me. Do you have a family here? Do you have family?
No, none of them.
No family member here. Yeah. Who do I talk to? It's just friends that I met.
We just talk to
you just talk to God. There are times that I need someone to talk to, and I'll check my phone. It's, let's say, 10 p.m. over here. It's 2 a.m. in Ghana. Who is awake at that time? And even when you're in America or when you're abroad, no one really think you have a problem. People don't think you have a problem.
Yeah, they think everything is going
You need that mental toughness, because in the middle of the semester, you get overwhelmed. For some reason, it happens to people, and I know it will happen. It will get to a point where the classes will just pile up on you. You just realize that how come I have 4 assignments that I haven't submitted? They are all due 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. I have 3 classes tomorrow.
How can
you are broke too. What is happening? For me, adding social media to it, that is why I even went on the social media break. It will get to a point. So the only thing that you need to survive on is mental toughness. You should know that over here too, you meet a lot of people from different backgrounds. Everyone in their culture. People will be. You see so many attitudes here. I've seen it so many times. Different attitude, and it will make you question that
different personality.
Yeah, but that is their lifestyle. I know people. They are very strange. You meet a lot of stupid people here, quote unquote, stupid people. People that you ask yourself, is this person okay? But then you don't have to let them get to you. If you let them get to you, it's your own cup of tea. You need that mental toughness to survive. There are times that you feel like quitting. You wish you jumped. I got to a point. I was booking flights to Ghana.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I was searching.
Really?
I missed Ghana. I'm like, hey, Ghana, that I didn't really rate. When I came here, I haven't eaten Ghanaian food, and those things are very depressing. When you come here, ask them anytime you go to the cafe, I don't even eat because I'm not used to the food here. Still, I'm not used. I'm always eating fries, chicken.
Salads.
I can't eat the food here. All these things affect you mentally, and then you have the pressure from home. People are calling you from home. We need this. We need that. You understand? So you need that mental toughness. If you are the type that the least thing gets to you, even wherever you are, someone says this to you and then you take it personal, bro. When you come here, you go through it. You go through it because the only thing you need is mental toughness. You need to be. Don't let things bother you.
Yeah.
When you go to class and let's say someone steps on you and they don't say sorry, just
don't take it personal. Just
don't take it personal.
Find your way out.
You need that strength.
true.
But so far, since you came here, what was the most fun activity that we've had? I know we've been to the trampoline park.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I see a lot of people. I even met a Ghanaian girl.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to edit this video. I'll just post it raw. I would have posted a video of him. I was surprised, toasting the girl. I took a video of you.
Took a video of me?
I took a video of you. I'm like, this guy came like
a week ago,
and he's vibing girls. When I came here, I wasn't talking to anyone. I have the video here. I was
really?
like, this guy is very smooth. I'll find the video. I was like, yes.
You should do that. Yeah.
I took a video of him.
You shouldn't do that, man.
I took a video of him. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah.
So that is him talking to the girl over there. I don't know if it can focus. That is him vibing the girl. 1 week over here, he's vibing the girls already. Yeah. So it's going to be.
Africa is Africa. You know, when you meet someone from Africa, the vibes always match.
Yeah, the vibe always match. And they want to meet us. People who were born here, but then let's say they are from Africa. They really want to meet us that we came from. I've had so many experiences where you meet a black American and they'll be asking you questions about Africa. Yeah, so how does Africa look?
Even today, I have a friend who come up to me. Man, will you take me to Africa?
Oh,
so I show you if you want to.
They'll be like, yo, how is Africa like? So when they dress this way, they head like this, is it true? And I'll be like, oh, nah.
Yeah, they just want to catch up with the vibes.
So they will love you and everything. But then the most important thing is when you are coming here, you need focus. Because the distractions are many.
So much.
Personal distractions like social media, because when you come here, you should know that you have best friends automatically. You know what I mean? People will start calling you back home that, hey, right now they're in America. Hey, all these things are distractions.
You're looking good, man. You're looking good.
All these things are distractions. Charlie, they want to talk to you. People will waste your time.
Don't wait that fool you, man.
People will waste your time. I have people that will text me for no reason. They'll just text you hi. And you'll be like, hello, how are you doing? I'm fine. Okay, just checking up on you. And I'll be like, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
But how is school?
Yeah, it's like they're wasting your time. And when you tell them that, oh, yo, man, I'm busy or something, they think you are giving them attitude. But it's not easy for us, yo. The pressure that it's on you, I'm telling you, the assignments here I had, it's not like I'm exaggerating it too.
Yeah.
It's not copy and paste answers.
No ChatGPT, no nothing.
When they catch you with ChatGPT, it's like you have to sit down.
Yeah.
I wish I could show. You have to sit down. Some of them you need to have a good partner. You need to read. Look at the books that I bought. This is one book, one course book. Look at the pages.
Okay.
One course book.
For one semester.
One semester. So imagine I'm taking one class and look at the book that I'm supposed to read.
The cover, for the semester.
Just this book, and I have to cover this book because we have tests, we have quizzes, and you are calling me, pressuring me for. Imagine the pressure that you are putting on me. Even in Ghana, when we're in universities, we aren't having it easy. You understand? So when you come here, the pressure will be on you.
Way too much.
People will disturb you unnecessarily. When you get here, people will start texting you. They'll be bothering you. All these things are meant to make you lose focus. You have to watch out for the distraction. And then also, what's another thing that you tell people back home who are coming here?
I just want to tell them that
don't give up.
Yeah.
He didn't really experience the struggles that people like you.
Yeah, like he was helping me. But when he came here, he didn't have no one to help me.
Yes, he had me. Okay, I had George, but George is not an international student. So he didn't really struggle because he came here in 1 week. He had everything done, social security, everything set. But let's talk about your interview. How was your interview like? The VISA interview?
Oh, my interview was, I can't remember. I don't know how to say, but it was on God. Exactly.
You told me how you were preparing.
I was preparing my stuff, getting my story together. You know, because I always do a rehearsal of how I'm going to answer if it's any questions and some other stuffs. But thank God, God made it. I'm here.
But you were mentioning how you wrote down the questions also, and you were like, someone helped you or something.
Yeah, I got a consultation from ARGO.
ARGO VISA.
ARGO VISA.
So people who have been
watch out for ARGO.
ARGO people are very good, but then they are very expensive. Their cost is it's a bit outrageous. But if you can afford it, go for it because they helped him and he's here.
Yeah, if you want to fulfill your dream, you have to pay for it.
You have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. And it's an investment you are making in yourself. You will definitely get it back. But do you remember the questions they asked you at the interview?
Yeah, well, my first question was, why the US?
Good.
Wow.
And do you remember the answer you gave?
Yeah, I can still remember. I told them that the US, even though in Sierra Leone we do computer science, but in the US.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let me speak on this. The visa, when they ask you why the US, never trash your country. Never ever trash your country.
Don't do that.
Don't tell them that, oh,
it's more better than.
Yeah, it's because it's more. Tell them that irrespective of the fact that your country has this, the US, blah 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 blah. Let me give myself as an example. They asked me why the US, and I'm like, irrespective of the fact that universities in Ghana offer political science, they don't offer law together. So me, I had law and political science.
Yeah, they don't focus on that much.
I told the visa officer that in Ghana they focus on just one area. You can't do 2 bachelor programs at the same time. You know how Ghana political science is a different program, law is also a different program. But I had it together over here. So I had to tell them that in Ghana it's not possible. And they were like, oh, okay. Before they came to YD school, did they ask YD school? Definitely do ask.
Yeah, they asked.
And how about that one too? Let me ask.
So YD school, I told them that the school I got a good professor who's ready to help.
Good.
It's also a practitioner. It's not only a professor.
It's like we all shared the same thing. Let me put my visa questions here. The questions that I answered. I have the visa prep.
You have the okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to link the visa prep in the description. Those who need the guidance that I used for my interview. Of course, I'm going to remove the private and the personal information from it. So I'm going to give you click the link in my description to just download it. And also, if you need the ebook on the complete guide to study in America, it's also going to be in the description. So they asked me why this school. So I wrote that I chose so and so school. This was even the New York school. I chose this school out of the 3 schools I applied because their political science program offers a social work. I gave the curriculum and everything. And then I also added that there was a lecturer who had the same career interest as mine.
Okay.
So it has to be something personal to you.
Personal, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't go and say that.
Don't take a
generic
story
thing
from the internet. You just
don't go and say they are the best. They are the best in this. They are the best in that.
They have this $1,000
Yes. No. Say something personal. And I always advise that you mention a professor's name. So say something like, the professor so and so, who is the head of this is also this and that, and she has promised to mentor me because we all have the same career path. It should be very personal to you. Let it be like, if you don't go to that school, there's no hope for you. Let it be very personal to you, and then you chip in the course curriculum and all that. I feel like they are even tired of hearing.
Those people are well-trained human psychologists. They know how you explain.
They know it.
The heart.
Yes, and then the last thing you probably chip in is probably the funding. Because they asked me why what has changed about my application, and I wrote that the funding this school has lesser fees. Yeah. And I know they will definitely ask you who is funding. That is the 3rd or 2nd question they normally ask. So how did you answer that one? Because you had a scholarship.
I told them I had a scholarship, and I bring up an evidence of my scholarship.
Yes.
And I show them, and they ask me how the remaining are you
the
going
balance.
to pay. I told them that my uncle will be paying. I still my uncle for the past 10 years now.
Well, use the uncle format because normally the uncle people, they don't really believe the uncle thing.
No, the problem is that people should learn how to explain.
Good.
Your document is just there for you.
It's just
when you present your case to the visa officer, that's the best way he can help you. Because for me, when I was at the hall, it was very crazy. The 10 people, they reject all 10 people.
Me too. For mine, I think the lady before me was approved. After her was refused. Mine was, most of you know the story. So when they ask you how are you funding the school, always mention the scholarship first. Always start with I received this amount of scholarship, blah blah blah, which will cover this amount of my fees. The remaining deficit, then you chip in your uncle, and you go ahead and mention how their source of income.
How long have you been staying together?
Yes, don't go and say he's a doctor. Be specific. He's a medical practitioner.
How many years is he working?
And then he makes an annual income of this to explain, and that will push them to ask for your bank statements. Don't go and say, how are you spending? My father is paying my school fees for me. Okay, there's
not much information in that.
They don't have your time, so just bear in mind. Now let's talk about the most important document, the DS-160 form, which most people, including me, I made mistakes on it. Most people don't fill that form correct. So when you go for your interview and you realize that they asked you just 2 questions and they refused you, chances are that your DS form wasn't proper. You didn't fill the forms properly, to be honest. Because when you go for your interview, the first thing they do is they take your passport and the I-20. Before you go for your interview, before you go to the
everything.
yes, they take your passport and scan it at the counter, meaning they've entered your passport and your DS form number together. So when you go to the visa officer and they scan the passport, it displays the DS form that you filled at home. It brings the information. So if you lied, you've forgotten about the question. It's like applying to a job, sending your CV, and then you come for your interview and they ask you questions on the CV. So once you are at the interview and they're asking you questions, you realize that they don't look at you, they look on the screen. It's because they are busy looking for the faults, for the red flags in the application. Okay, so they'll be asking you, so how are you doing this? And then they'll quickly go to the employment section and they'll ask you, so what do you do? And then maybe you, on the form you wrote that you're an accountant at this bank.
These people are very tricky.
And then in person you'll be like, oh, I have my own business. Don't always do, just pick the refusal letter and just bounce you. So the DS form, do you remember how you filled yours, the employment section and all those things? How do you fill it?
The employment section, I knew I'm a student, so I just feel like a student. I bring up my high school name, my high school address, and telephone number. I think that's all. I don't have much.
Yours makes sense because you had graduated from high school fresh,
right? That's what the first question the visa officer asked me. When year did you graduate?
Yes. So if let's say you graduated in 2020 or 2024 June and you are going to the US in 2024 September, that one makes sense if you don't have a work experience. But then if you graduated high school 3 years ago or university 3 years ago,
you are not a traditional student.
You are not a traditional student. You have a gap year, meaning what were you doing all these 3 years?
That's why you have to provide
evidence. You have to provide evidence that this was what I was doing. So for me, I wrote that I was working as an NGO, blah, 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 and I wrote books. Everything. She said, congratulations. I wrote, because I had stayed home for 3 years, I already started a diploma course for 2 years and dropped out. So I didn't have any. The mistake I made in my first application was writing that I am unemployed in capital letters.
Really?
So this is what I did. So since my first application, I wrote that I am unemployed. It is in their system that he's unemployed. So you wrote that you completed high school in 2018. You are coming for your interview in 2022. You've not been employed. So meaning from 2018 to 2022, you were not employed. So when I submit my second application and I write that, from 2018 I was employed, they have the records there that, you said that you were not employed from 2018. How come all of a sudden you're employed? So I had to be smart this time. So what I did is I wrote that I was volunteering for this company, but I wasn't paid. So volunteer wasn't a work, right? So I was volunteering and I made my official job after my visa was refused. So I wrote that I got my official offer letter to work for them after 2 days after the visa was refused. So they know that, so after we refused him, he started working. Because in the system, it shows that you've not worked since high school. But this time you said that, you were rather doing a volunteer job. You understand? So I told him that I was volunteering for my father's church and blah, 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 and all those things. So you have to be smart about this whole thing. When they refuse you, don't be sad, don't be depressed. It's very painful. I've been refused so many times. Go home, sit down, and analyze what happened at the interview. When you get home, quickly write the interview, make a transcript of the questions they asked you and the answers you gave. And then you just assess it and then ask yourself, where did I go wrong? What did I do?
Where did you mess up?
Yes. So redo everything and then apply again. It's very difficult, but just correct your mistake and then do it. When you are going with a huge red flag, it's 3 red flags you should never go for your interview with. When you have a school fees above $30,000, $35,000, bro, don't try it. To be honest, because $35,000 doesn't make sense to them, especially when you have a scholarship of $3,000, $4,000. Never go for the interview without scholarship. Don't do that. Never go to an interview and you don't have a scholarship. They know that you just want to come because you have the admission. There's nothing special about your application, because getting admission is easy, but the scholarship is the most. It's a bit complicated and all that.
When you get a scholarship, that means you have passed through assessment. It's
a different stage. Yes. And then this visa is a different stage. And then getting to the port of entry, which I'll talk about soon, is also a different stage. So before that, what I want you to share, what are your future plans? As in, after college, do you want to continue to get a job, or you were telling me that you go back to?
I'm going back.
Okay, but I hope that changed, or I don't know.
No, it's a short thing. I just want to get my degree and get a remote job in America and then fly back. Okay, so I have a friend also from Kenya. She says she wants to go back. For me, I don't know now, but let's see. And now let's talk about the port of entry. So I've shared my port of entry experience, how I was scared because I had already posted and I had already announced that I'm in America. When I got down from the plane, I just connected to the nearest Wi-Fi and I started posting videos of me at the airport. Oh, really?
I posted it when I was in Egypt, transiting. When I was in transit, I had posted a picture of me at the airport. So people already knew
You
I had
left
traveled.
here.
So when I got to the port of entry, and the port of entry in New York, it meets you right after the plane.
Yeah,
Like
there's nowhere to hide.
once you come out of the plane in 10 seconds,
Face.
the moment you come out of the staircase, that is the port of entry, the immigration.
Nowhere to sit.
Nowhere to sit, nowhere to stand. You are moving. No one is stopping. And then you see visa holders here, green card holders,
Yes.
passports. Those people, they just go through it. But we with the visas, I was in the queue and my heart was beating. I was holding my files and I was praying. I'm like, God, this is the last step. Please don't disgrace me. I've already announced that I'm here. Oh. Please don't disgrace me. You are the author. Oh, Charlie. And I was in the middle, like about 20 people ahead of me, and they broke the line into two. And then I was the next person. Hey! My heart was pounding. And to make it worse, the guy in front of me was someone from Germany. And guess what happened to him? They took him to the secondary interview.
For secondary inspection.
Yes. Okay. So when you get to the port of entry and the answers you are giving is fishy, they can take you to a secondary interview. So I was just there with my files, and the officer just came off his office and he locked the door and he asked the guy to follow him. Took him to the cubicle, blah blah blah. Only God knows what happened. And then he called me. My heart was pounding. And he was like, so blah blah blah. What question did he ask me? He just took my documents, first document, I-20, passport, and he was like,
those are the two documents.
He was checking his laptop, and I was just standing there shaking, and he was like, which school am I going to? University of Charleston. I'm like, will you be living on campus? I'm like, yeah. And I had my train ticket with me, so in case he asks me why I'm landing here, blah, blah, blah. I'll talk about you landing in a different state.
I don't have ticket. I have to talk about that also.
Okay, so we talk about that one. So he asked me, he was like, so how much do I have on me? And I'm like, $200, even though I had just $100 for me. And he asked me just those three questions, and he was like, he took his stamp. That was when I realized that, oh, okay, thank God.
Finally.
And then he was like,
I made it through.
Yes, and then I went back, I called my parents, and I'm like, Charlie, baby Drew, I've landed. So yeah, let's talk about the port of entry, the landing. So most people think that if, let's say, you squeeze in Texas and you land in Ohio,
that's the international airport.
Yes.
You don't have to go nowhere.
Yes.
JFK, from anywhere in the world, you have to
go through JFK. So I had a friend, California, Steve. Steve is schooling in Connecticut, and he landed in California. Now, when you look at the map, California is at the west side, Connecticut is at the east side. It's around New York, that side. So it's a huge red flag to the customs visa of the officers or at the immigration.
Custom officers.
Because it's like your school is here. How are you going to the west side of the map? It's like if you're in Ghana, your school is in Accra, and then you've landed in Tamale. If you're in Nigeria, let's say your school is in Lagos, and you've landed in the state in Abuja. Is Abuja close to Lagos? I don't know. It's like
far away.
Very far away.
From the
so
state, yeah.
He had a little challenge at the port of entry, but then it was cleared and all that. So the thing is that when you get into the US, the first state you enter, that is your port of entry. So when you are in the US and you are transiting to, let's say, Atlanta, or you are going through California or anywhere, and you land in New York, that is your first port of entry, because that is where almost everyone lands. And then they get their immigration cleared. Yes, and then they continue. So when you land here first, that was what I didn't know, but I guess it's still fine. I didn't know that New York was my port of entry, because I thought that they would check my documents at Giga Airport.
Yeah.
So I had my tickets my train tickets in case they asked me why I'm landing in New York. Not knowing that was like a huge airport. So you want to be strategic about it. If you want to land in a different state, make sure that the gap is not that huge, and also make sure that it's an international, it's a major airport. Don't let your school be at New York and then you land at West Virginia, because they'll be like, West Virginia is a small airport. It's not like an international airport where planes are always coming through. It's like this how the system works. The larger airports have the most people. So when you go to places like Jackson Airport in ATL, that is where most people land, and JFK, that's where most people land.
It's like every 10 minutes, plane land in New York.
LAX, Los Angeles airports, that's where most planes are landing. So if you are going to Los Angeles and your school is in a smaller state or in a different state and you land there, it's suspicious to them. But I think US immigrations are chill. They are not really strict about it. Just be comfortable, just speak the truth, and then they'll clear you. They'll not really stress you that much.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically that is it. So how was your reaction from people back home when you landed here? Because you were not posting. I've sent him pictures of the snow. We took pictures when we were in the snow, but he's not posting them. So
I don't.
You want to hide for now?
Yeah, I don't like social media that much.
I like social media a lot.
Yeah, I don't like it that much. Like it was a I had a terrible flight from Senegal to Korea. Yeah, so my connecting flight had an issue.
Heathrow.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you actually went to the UK.
No, not UK. My connecting flight has an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to come to JFK and then call for the connecting flight. So they will connect me from JFK to West Virginia.
You were really stressing.
Well, I just pull out my bag and just stand at the corner there. Who's the first person? The first person who I took the phone to call is Miss Violetta. Yeah, I don't know nobody else. Yeah,
Violetta is something else.
Yeah,
God bless that woman.
I said I'm turning my way back to Sierra Leone.
The stress we go through. Most people from America don't really see the stress we go through coming from Africa.
Even when you come alone, it's your first time.
It's your first time. So when I made a video talking about how my first day in New York, I slept by the roadside, people were flaming me that I should shut up. I'm sleeping by the roadside in America and I'm not grateful because it's better than. I'm like, you guys don't know what it takes to be stranded in America. You don't know.
No one will watch you. That's the first thing.
No one cares about you. No one cares about you.
Even if you have fire in your body.
No one. Everyone is minding their business, especially in New York. New York is the only place that people will be fighting and everyone will be passing. No one cares about you. They are like,
no one.
They are minding their business. You see the way back home, people will be fighting and someone will come and say,
what happened? What happened?
No one cares about you. No one wants your trouble. So if you are stranded in America, it's a different case altogether compared to being stranded back home. So when you are making comparison like that, you have to be careful. Their life over here, mostly I don't really blame people who are in Africa or who are in Ghana, Nigeria and all those things, and they try to, show you how to live your life in America because you don't know the system over here. The system over here is
different way system.
Opposite. It will take you some time to adjust. It will take you so many times to adjust. I'm still adjusting, to be honest. Every day I'm learning new things.
I think I need 2 months.
You need some time to adjust, but you are with us. So you fell in the right hands. You fell in the right hand. You fell in the right hand. So that is basically it. And I was asking him if he's made some friends so far, and he's like,
Yeah, I met some white guys.
Yeah,
which are nice. Yeah.
Some people are nice. Some people too have personal issues in life. So
that's on them.
Yeah, you have to
be here to get education.
Yeah, you are here to get education. That is why I always talk about focus. I think most people's mindset is America is all about enjoyment. America is all about chilling.
You have what you want.
So when they are coming in their mind, they imagine themselves in the snow, taking pictures, looking fresh, your skin looking, all those things. All these things are side gigs. But when you come here and the reality hits you, when you need to start making money, paying phone plans, paying this, buying books, buying all those things, all these life will just, you stop thinking about those things. So when you're back home, limit your imaginations, okay? Limit your expectations because when you get here, it's a different ball game altogether. It's a different ball game altogether. And people who are asking for on-campus jobs to pay your fees, let me ask you, since you came here, how long have you told the admissions to find you a job, and have they gotten you the job yet?
I think they got me a job, like last week.
Last week.
I told them I need a job, so I can get on my stuff,
And do you plan on doing it? Like, have you started it?
No, I haven't started it yet. You know my SS
number
is getting on the
So most people don't know this, but you can't come to America and work the first day unless maybe you are doing an table job. But then when you come here, you have to get documents. You have to get your social security.
You can't work on the first day, even if I say anything, because they will scared at you.
They'll be scared at you that you came from all of a sudden you want to work. Everything is documentation. Even to get him a phone plan, they told him that he doesn't have a social security I was surprised because I got my phone plan without social security.
He got his like a week.
I came here 1 week. Okay, my story is different. So when you come in, you need documentation. America is a country of system. You have to get documented.
It's a centralized system.
It's everywhere like you go. You have to follow the path. You can't just think like, oh, I heard that these people do this, these people do that. Especially if you don't have a family here to put you on. Like you don't have an uncle who just direct you. You find it very difficult. When you come here, your first few weeks, you have to get an on-campus job first. Getting an on-campus job is also a different thing because you have to let them know that, oh, these are my schedule, and then they give you the job, give you a letter showing that, oh, if I've employed you, make another letter showing that this is how much we pay you, and this is the time that you work here, give you all these documentations, take it to your admissions, international admissions for her to add. To take you some time before you take it to the social security office, apply for them for 2 weeks or so before you get a social security, before you go to the bank to create an account, because the school will not pay you in cash, they will pay you through the bank. So it's a whole lot. So when you're coming, I think the biggest mistake people make is they think the moment you get your life will just be smooth. It's not easy. To take you time and it will take you so much sacrifices. I'm telling you, so much sacrifices before you be comfortable here and meeting the right people. And that is why people get depressed, they get sad, they get disappointed because they are like, this is not the America that I expected.